Hello everyone, this is Ling. I'm here with Meng and Dennis. Three of us is going to present to you the effectiveness of incorporating AR in print design course. We are from the Institute of Creative Art and Design, UCSI University, Kuala Lumpur. First of all, I will start with the abstract. This paper is going to discuss about the course intention of print design. It is to teach students about layout design and how a physical print book is designed and formatted. By incorporating AR, the physical print book is believed to achieve outcome-based learning objective for undergraduate students in improving their design skills. Besides, it cultivates the environmentally conscious mindset of the new generation by reducing the number of pages in printing. 2 years have been taken to collect 4 cohorts of students, feedback on the outcome-based learning objective using a questionnaire. The data collected was then analyzed using a qual methods with descriptive analysis for the closed-end questionnaire and thematic analysis for open-ended response after experiencing the AR implementation in their print design course. The findings on the descriptive analysis show that they have a high degree of agreement on and able to achieve higher learning outcome and academically stimulating in the subject area. Then in the teaching area, mentioned that teaching was well organized, the lecturer's explanation improved understanding, encourage students to learn, encourage students to participate, and overall the lecture will perform well. Finally, the thematic analysis, 3 themes have emerged. Constructive learning oriented and positive connection of learning was material and instructor. The study identified that students enjoy and the willing in the learning of AR experience in the traditional graphic prints, and it motivates students to explore modern skills and be more expressive. The final expansion of the research would be on evaluating only on teaching on the subject itself. So now I'm going to introduce to you about our introduction. The program standard for art and design under the Malaysia Quality Agency, which means MQA, emphasize that design focuses on aesthetic concepts, function, creativity, and innovation. Students are expected to synchronize and apply relevant knowledge practically and effectively, and achieve an outcome at the end of the learning curve. The social competency of students is also a key factor to have to look into in order to cope with the pace of the market trends and the consciousness of the environment. As the present youth knowledge about sustainability is considerably weak, it is also the mission of the instructor to uplift the practice of environmentally responsible behavior to in line with the causes that are nurturing the new generation, or else it might pestilential to the future. The youth in this study refer to 4 cohorts of participants who grown up in the digital world. Study bachelor's degree in graphic design is one of the higher education institutions in Malaysia, capital city Kuala Lumpur. A print design course which the curriculum is to teach students to create and design layout of books in addition to using the traditional method of desktop publishing. The course was extended to motion graphic by emphasizing the integration of video, audio, and animation into the book with AR. It allows students to showcase their digital information and media in creativity through the physical books. Meanwhile, researchers deployed explanatory mixed method research initiated by a descriptive analysis with 5-point Likert scale, questionnaire, then thematic analysis on the open-ended survey to study the effectiveness of incorporating AR in print design course based on the students' feedback in the area of subjects and teaching to improve the syllabus of the print design course in the future. Education institution, the undergraduate program in graphic design evolved around the practice of conceptualizing and visualizing ideas with creative, critical, and technical skill. It produced graduates who are flexible and responsive. The medium of communication can be physical or by digital, including images, illustration, text, and graphic element. Body of knowledge for graphic design list in the program standard of the second edition published by this MQA in November 2020, including computer-aided design, branding, photography, visual and media culture, professional practice, design history, drawing and illustration, typography, visual comm, design com and environmental graphic design, electrical publishing, packaging design, media and time-based and art direction. And for this print design course leading the student to learn from setting up the workspace and structuring the documents through to the basic of typesetting, applying color and images to design a book. They are exposed to the fundamental techniques and trend in publishing required and equipped with the skill to create rich multimedia content, the concept of digital graphic for print. Okay, so now I'm passed on to my friends, Mr. Dennis.
Hi, I'm Dennis. I shall continue this presentation. Alright, so I'll talk about A, motion graphic, creating mood board, visual or layouts, storyboards, keyframes, visual styling, technique, and media are parts of the pre-production stage for motion graphics. So meanwhile, planning on location, settings, and rostrum cameras, tripods, zoom, perspective, lighting, special effects, baseboards, time of day, model boxes, environments, and audio also needs to consider if presentation is in video shooting. B, AR. AR technology can be defined as a real-time physical, real-world environment, enhanced by adding visual information generated by digital. The images scaling and shaping are fused with natural environment. Today, all smartphones can perform the AR technology. Requirements or be defined as using computer technology to superimpose visual information into the real world by displaying it on electronic devices. Presently, the most mature technology widely used in AR in Malaysia is recognition-based, which through the camera perceives the corresponding marks of a two-dimensional code to active AR visualization. Okay, I'm going to talk on this learner's interest. So audience, you can refer to this cone of experience in figure 1. So since 1969, Edgar Deel's cone of experience has illustrated the importance of concrete experience and direct participation to provide the foundation of permanent learning and communication. It is enabled viewers or users to have an engaging perception and interaction by gaining experience visually. It is a visual analogy of a revolutionary approach to improving the quality of educational learning environment by exposing the students to a hands-on and realistic experience that can provide vivid understanding, motivation, participation, and engagement. Malaysian researcher Dr. Siti Hajar Halili reported that technological advancement could bolster learners' interest. Implementation of AR in print books would add life and motion to print books, thus allying boredom quoted by SIEK. Now I'll talk on the course description and outcomes learning for courses. For the print design courses, to fulfill the requirements of the study and met the appropriate program standards, students were introduced to design knowledge of various publication layouts, organizing documents, the materials and printing methods for traditional printing. Upon completing this project, students will have the necessary skills to achieve professional looking result easily. With both knowledge and skills, students will be able to manipulate ideas and concepts into forms of visual communications. They are to apply the design knowledge they had learned using grids, columns, layout, and images for the pages. B. Motion graphic project brief. The project enables students to improve their ability to communicate to the specific target audience using moving images designed by generating their imaginary, dialogue and soundtrack by documenting the output coherently and dealing in through time-based media by AR as a final medium of communication. Helps to reduce the number of pages, provide the written script of their visual story, including the visual of audio effects they may intend to have their motion graphics video. Under the project brief, students are required to produce a storyboard to communicate the narrative based on a collaboration with print design course and present in AR, closing the gap between physical and digital, allowing the students to know that they have a role to play in trying to reduce their collective impact on the world. They use mixed methods approach, qual, to evaluate the factors that influence student satisfaction, with the outcome that their readiness to suggest the AR learning in print design course in 2 years throughout the 4 cohorts of students' feedback. The student feedback was obtained through the University database, and students' participation was entirely self-volunteered. Now I'm going to pass on to my friend Meng to continue the presentation.
Okay, hi everyone. So this is Meng. Now I'm going to talk about the descriptive analysis. Okay, so the evaluation was taken into both the lecturer's teaching and subject to understand the students' comprehension and satisfaction of the subject. So this is the table 1, which we have the 5-point Likert scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree. The first section is subject, where we have 8 of the evaluation of subject teaching. The second one is the teaching, where we have 7 part of the evaluation of subject teaching. So through the feedback result, we found that there are 75 students and 61 out of 75 had completed the survey. So 4 cohorts. We understand that over 80% of the students are clear with the aims and goals of the subject. They can achieve the remaining 7 items with a clear goal. There are 5 items, particularly 1, 2, 4, and 5, and 7, that were able to achieve 88 to 90%, as you can see in the table 1. From a result that we have organized, students mentioned that this is very comprehensive and also it supports participation. Now, after all this descriptive analysis, we have also have an open-ended question for the students, right? So after all this feedback, we have come up with 6 steps of thematic analysis by Brown and Clark. So move on to the next one. As you can see here is a table 2, where open-ended questionnaire codes based on cohort 1 to 4 feedback, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have a lot of feedbacks like good, fun, interesting, rush, connecting with the community, social interaction, all kinds of comments from the students. So as you can see from them, we have categorized them into A until O, right? Next, we have come up with 15 codes from A to O as shown in table 2. So 9 on the subject and 6 on the teaching, right? So after all these codes has been generated, we also group them and come up with a team. And these are teams that are effectively a superset of the codes. Lastly, are reviewing the teams and also defining names of the teams before we move on to the reporting, right? So, team 1, okay, we also collectively turn them into a smaller and more precise team. And in the end, we come up with the 3 final teams from the 7 teams that I mentioned just now. The first team is constructive, which is from number 1 and 2, informative and ease of learning. Number 2, learning oriented, which resulted from informative and motivation of learning. And team number 3, positive connection of learning with material and instructor, which are from the 2 teams earlier, connection with material and positive subject experience. So once we have come up with these 3 concise and particular teams, we have finally come up with the writing and reporting. So yeah, next, conclusion and future direction. So based on these 3 teams, we found that it's the student feedback is positive towards the subject and teaching in a quantitative result. It shows a relatively biased score of agreement from 72% to 90%. Therefore, to gain a firmer result from a quantitative result, a thematic analysis on the open-ended questions shows 3 main themes: constructive, learning-oriented, and positive connection of learning are the factors of effectiveness in a print design course. So with these 3 themes analyzed, the effectiveness of AI in print learning design also shows the students' constructive way of building up their knowledge, with a mindset of learning new knowledge and positivity connection of the students with the learning materials with instructors or lecturers. However, this study takes fewer participants for each cohort and no control group to compare treatment. Therefore, it will take more than 2 years to test the students' effectiveness. Further expansion of the research would be on evaluating only on teaching or the subject itself. So that's all from us. Thank you so much for your listening. Thank you.